It's Friday, March the 20th. Where did this month go? It feels like we were just getting ready for NFL free agency, and now we're a month away from the draft.
Time flies.
Time flies like a bird when you're having fun. But anyway, we've got Birds of the Gridiron back in the saddle again here on Friday night. We got Eagles free agency. We're talking Darius Slay retiring. Howie Roseman's made like 18 billion moves in 2 weeks, and we're going to break it all down for you. Kick back, relax, and enjoy your Friday night because Birds of the Gridiron, it starts right freaking now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Birds of the Gridiron, only here on 609 Sports Talk Radio, coming at you guys live tonight with all the latest craziness around the Philadelphia Eagles offseason, and there is a lot to get into. As always, Sam Nelson, Tyler Adams. Mr. Adams, how are we tonight?
Oh, just enjoying another Friday evening. Here
Just
on
another
Birds of the Gridiron.
Just another beautiful Friday, right? We can't ask for much more. So listen, we're going to get into a lot of stuff tonight. Eagles free agency, there's been a lot of stuff happening. They made like 3,000 moves today at safety, or lack thereof on the roster, but we'll get to that in a little bit. We'll talk about all the moves that Howie Roseman's been making and all the good stuff that the Eagles have been up to over the past 2 weeks since you guys saw us last. It's been a couple weeks. However, before we get into any Eagles free agency stuff, we did have a little bit of Eagles news this week that was outside of free agency. Former Eagles cornerback Darius Slay announced his retirement from the NFL. This came just a day after he said that if he was going to play for another team for another year, it was going to be for the Eagles. But however, the next day, Darius Slay decided he believed that it was time to call it a career. I mean, he's had a great career, one of the best corners of his time, and he decided to call it. And that had me thinking. We all know the Eagles have had some weird, strange luck at corner. They had all that success in the late 90s, early 2000s. Troy Vincent, Bobby Taylor, Lito Shepherd, Sheldon Brown. And then they got Asante Samuel. And he was a mainstay at that quarterback position for a few years in Philly. He was damn good at it. Then everything in between Asante Samuel and acquiring Darius Slay, we already know how that went. So that gave me a good poll question. And this is a good poll question for tonight's show. It's the first poll question we've done on Birds since bringing it back over here to 609. Who was the better corner in Eagles history? Darius Slay or Asante Samuel? Tyler, I'm going to give the floor to you to start this off, but I do want to get the poll question numbers. The poll question is not close, and I voted for Darius Slay. However, I don't like the disrespect that Asante Samuel got in this poll. 82% of the vote went to Darius Slay, with a total of 219 votes. And 18% went to Asante Samuel, who got 45 votes. So, Tyler, I will leave the question to you. Who do you think was the better corner in Eagles history?
Well, I personally think it's simple. I don't believe it is disrespect towards Asante Samuel for the voting to be so lopsided. Yes, Asante was great. For the limited time that we had him, I mean, yeah, the defenses were fine with him on it. He was a lockdown corner. Can't take that away from him. But what did the team accomplish? Not much. So when you look at when we acquired Darius Slay for the 2020 season, the team was going through a little bit of a struggle. A few years removed from the Super Bowl win. The Doug Peterson years are over. And you need to find your mainstay at cornerback. You need a staple. And then you go and get Darius Slay, who's stuck on, at the time, a poor Lions franchise.
Sorry, Zolt.
Sorry, Zolt. They couldn't do anything for his entire tenure. And I was so glad, so ecstatic when they finally traded for Darius Slay. And I mean, when he came in the door, he showed us what he could do. He always did. I mean, they don't throw to him. They try to avoid throwing to him. But when they do, he always seems to find a way to make a play on the ball. He earned his nickname Big Play Slay way before he came to the Eagles. And he just solidified that even more. But what he accomplished with being on the team that went to the Super Bowl in 2022. Now, granted, we both know defense as a whole did not play great in that game. He wasn't innocent in it. Not saying it was all on him, but it was a team effort that they did not win. And obviously, the biggest year is 2024. He comes in, he is in the best shape of his life after only playing 12 games in the year prior during that mind numbing season of, oh my gosh, Brian Johnson,
Oh, don't remind me.
Matt Patricia, terrible. The fact that he was able to recover from that and put on the type of year that he did in 2024, not only did we have two number one corners with him and Quinyon, he also helped play a part in mentoring both Quinyon and Coop before ultimately departing from the team. So I think him being able, now I get it, it's not much of a comparison because Quinyon and Coop are two amazing talents. It's not like, Darius Slay just took two average guys and made them stars. Not trying to say that. But for him to kind of pass on his legacy before he ultimately left the team, I think that's where, for me, I view him as the greatest Eagles cornerback in history.
Right. Now, first off, I want to say I don't want to take anything away from Asante Samuel. Asante was one of my favorite Eagles players growing up, and I mean, the guy was a playmaker. We know that. The guy took the football away better than anybody, probably better than Darius Slay. But I'm just going to rattle this off real quick, okay? Namdi, Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, Harry Williams, Bradley Fletcher, Nolan Carroll, Byron Maxwell,
Booty Maxwell,
Leotis McKelvin, Ronald Darby, Jalen Mills.
Oh no, you finally said it. Oh no.
Hold on, we won a Super Bowl with those two. Show some damn
We
respect.
did. We did.
It wasn't because of them. I mean,
It was
Tom
because of
did
that
throw for
pass
500.
rush.
Tom did throw for. It wasn't for had nothing to do with that defense as as a unit. Tom threw for 500 and put up 33. They didn't. The Patriots only didn't score on one drive, and that's because they missed the kick. But well, actually, two drives. You count the fumble and the Hail Mary at the end. But those were the cornerback years from absolute hell. And then in 2020, Howie trades a third, which by the way, a third and fifth round pick for Darius Slay is criminal.
It is.
Absolutely criminal. And Darius Slay, not only did he bring you to a Super Bowl and win to two Super Bowls and win you one and mentor the new era of Eagles defensive backs, which by the way, he made Howie Roseman start to worry about the cornerback position, which thank goodness that happened. And not, like I said, he mentored Cooper DeJean, he mentored Quinyon Mitchell, but he just became, for these past 5 years that he was here, he became a mainstay at that cornerback position, we have been looking for someone. Before 2020, we have been looking for over 10 years for someone to be a stability there since Asante Samuel. That's why this was the poll question. I know some Eagle fans were mad, like, why didn't you put Troy Vincent in this? When Troy Vincent and Bobby Taylor left the Eagles, we literally went right from them to Lito Shepherd and Sheldon Brown. That's why they were not in it, because when they left, their successors did exactly what Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean did when Darius Slay left. So that's why they aren't in this. First, we know how great Troy Vincent and Bobby Taylor were. They were two of the best corners in the league back then. On one of the most ferocious defenses led by Jim Johnson. We know who they are. But like I said, they got replaced by Lito and Sheldon, and we were fine. But after Asante Samuel, the years between Asante Samuel and Darius Slay, go look at how many games that this team lost because their corners stunk. And we're not even talking about the guys that came in and played when guys were injured. Do I have to remind people of the Michael Jacquet game? Do we have to remind people of that?
Sam, you better tread lightly, or I might just leave the show.
Those were long days. And of course, with Darius Slay here, who's played opposite of Darius the 1 year here? Oh, Steven Nelson?
Oh, I remember Steven Nelson, the one good year, solid year we got out of him, I should say.
They were fine. That team was fine. They just weren't good. But then they got James Bradbury, turned to an all-pro. Then he stunk.
And then we got his best years out of him as well. Exactly. That kind of seemed to be the trend.
That was always the trend. Brandon, what's up, buddy?
What's going on, Brandon?
But yeah, so I think it's Darius Slay. I think just for what he did here, he was a stability at that cornerback position for so long. And I love Asante. I think he's one of the best Eagles corners, too. He was amazing here. The guy had like 20 interceptions as an Eagle. But I just personally think that Darius Slay he clearly did more. With no disrespect to Asante, he did more. But I think Darius Slay did more. He did. He won you a Super Bowl.
Yeah, won you a Super Bowl, played in 2. Definitely a leader. 2.
Exactly. I, for one, think that Darius Slay was just that good, and he helped stabilize that position. Oh, God.
Oh, man. Patrick Robinson was fine for that year, 2017.
Patrick Robinson was the best corner on that team.
Yeah. That's why I said, yeah, he was fine. Because our pass rush was good enough to make him look good.
He also led the team in interceptions.
He did.
Oh God, Anthony, I
Oh,
saw
no.
that. I saw someone say this earlier.
Let's see who's going to be next. Aaron Gordon.
Well, I need Team USA to have a new captain for the WBC and new manager next time too, because Mark DeRosa is clueless. But no, like I said, I think Darius Slay just he saved you from cornerback hell. Like after Asante, it was hell, and I think he saved you from it for all those years. He won you a Super Bowl, and that's the other thing. Like Darius Slay was. I think we all agreed. Like 2022. Let's go back to 2022. That pass rush was they were special.
Oh, yeah.
But Jonathan Gannon's coverage scheme sucked. Like they played way too much zone, way too much off, no press. They couldn't cover. They didn't cover well as a team that year. And I think in 2023, when Sean Desai took over the defense and Matt Patricia, which that was an entire mess of its own right. I think that's where people remember we thought Darius Slay was done after that. Remember they released him, then they brought him back. We're like, what's going on here?
Yeah, we were about to lose him.
I personally think 2024 was the best year that Darius Slay had in Philadelphia.
It was. I mean, you could just tell that was honestly his peak. How he conditioned
34.
himself. Yeah, how he conditioned himself coming into that season. I mean, he said it himself during the off-season training. He said that I feel the youngest I have in my entire football career.
And I mean, I'm sure it helps when you have a proven defensive mind in Vic Fangio. Christian Parker came over, and look, I know he's 34, but sometimes you can teach an old dog new tricks. And Christian Parker milked the last great football out of Darius Slay in 2024. I mean, he was amazing that year. Him, and I think a lot of it was he didn't have to be the corner one. Quinyon walked in the locker room that day, could have been the quarterback one. But it's because of how good Quinyon was right off the bat. And I'm telling you now, I could say it, 2024, go back and watch the old Birds of the Gridiron draft show. I was a Terrion Arnold guy. I was glad I was wrong. But I wasn't
the guy from Bama, of course. Of course you wanted to
I wasn't against Quinyon. I said give me Terrion Arnold or Quinyon Mitchell.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, when you boil it down, do you go for the guy from Alabama or Toledo? Well, let's just say I'm damn glad that we went for the guy from Toledo who actually had offers from Bama, but chose to stay loyal to his team.
Hey, we may have another Toledo boy in that secondary come April. We have to wait and see. Because after some recent moves today, we're going to have to see what happens. But no, the fact that Darius Slay just played so amazing in that 2024 season and in the postseason, that defense was ferocious the entire time. And like I said, he brought you out of the cornerback purgatory. He stabilized that position until you start to find some long-term solutions. Yes, and that's another thing. He always had the revolving door from when he was here. Who started opposite of him his first year here?
2020? Did we still have Jalen Mills back then?
No, they made him a safety that year, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
Because Malcolm left.
Wait, so who was next to him?
I got it here. I got it right here. It's all right. Eagles, 4-11-1. Oh, sweet God. All right, so I'll just give you some Eagles corners that were on that team. There's a few guys here. Avonte Maddox played 8 games that year, so he probably had some decent playing time out there. All right, let me go look down here. Defensive backs. These are all safeties. Where are the? All right, you're telling me we have what? No corner. We had no corners on this roster apparently.
Don't believe that. I know there's got to be a name that I'm going to hate to hear.
Michael Chiquette.
No, that's one.
Trayvon LeBlanc.
Oh, Captain Trayvon.
Oh, here we go.
Who's the name?
Nickel Roby Coleman.
Oh, dear God. Yeah, because we thought that was going to be a great idea. You put Avonte Maddox, all 5'8" of him, next to 5'9". Oh, Nickel Roby Coleman. Jeez.
He was so bad.
That was rough.
He
I thought
was.
that is poor management decisions there.
That 2020 team was a mess, though. I mean, that was the Jalen Reagor draft over Justin Jefferson. That whole thing was a mess.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, like, that's when Howie Roseman turned this team into a viable contender every year because they saw that regime wasn't getting it done. They won the Super Bowl, and Doug couldn't get back to it. They could never even come close to being the same kind of team.
Yeah.
And they were realizing it was coming to an end. But give credit where credit's due. They made all the right calls. They got rid of Doug. They got rid of Carson. I know people like to still flag on my head coach. That's fine. My head coach wins. Yours doesn't. That's how it goes. You can cry me a river at night when your team's 5-12 and I'm going to the playoffs every year. But I mean, that even gives Darius Slay more love. He went from starting next to Nickel Roby-Coleman, then Steven Nelson, then James Bradbury, and then Quinyon Mitchell. He literally upgraded every year.
Yeah.
But no, I'm sticking to the poll question. And by the way, thank you for everyone who voted on the poll question. Awesome results. And I just want to say that I think Darius Slay, just because, I mean, the Super Bowl is probably the do-all for it. And that's going to win the poll no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
I think Asante could have easily, I mean, Asante's won Super Bowls, but like Asante was here in such a weird time. Like 08, that was the team that almost got back to the Super Bowl. I think that team, honestly, if they beat the Cardinals, I think they beat the Steelers. But, I mean, 09, they got bushwhacked by Dallas in the first round. Yeah. 2010 was the Vic year. The defense wasn't great. I mean, McDermott was the DC. Andy fired him and then promoted Juan Castillo to defensive coordinator, which was the stupidest thing ever. And at that point, Andy had one foot out the door at that point. So Asante was here at a really weird time for the team because it was the golden Andy years on the back end. Like it was all there was my microphone. It was all going for an end. It was all coming to an end. They weren't dominant. They weren't getting to the NFC title game every year. It was over. And don't get me wrong, Asante played well every year. I mean, I think the guy had he averaged 4 or 5 picks a year with the Eagles. I mean, the only poor year Asante really had was 2011, but that was because they went and signed Nnamdi, and Asante and him had to play on a side he had to play on a side of the field he wasn't comfortable with. So, George, yeah, they did bring in Dameon Pierce.
Yeah, he'll make a solid RB3.
Yeah, I think that's where they're heading with that. But yeah, that's where I think the poll question really comes to an interesting halt, is because Asante was here in such a weird time. Like I said, 2011 was a mess. Nnamdi's eating lunch in his car. Asante's playing on the opposite side of the field that he's not used to. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie is trying to play the slot when he's 6'3". Good luck with that.
We all know how talented Asante Samuels was. No one questions that. But in terms of where he stands as an Eagle, I give it to Slay every time.
I think Slay may have been better in coverage, too.
I mean, there's a reason they didn't throw his way a lot.
Well,
because I mean,
yeah, you
like to mention. I mean, Samuels averaged the 4 or 5 picks a year. He didn't do that with Philly. The most he had in a year with us was 3 picks. It's because teams don't throw his way.
Whoa! No way. There's no way Asante Samuel did not have a good couple of years in Philadelphia.
No, did you misunderstand what I said?
What?
No, I'm talking about Slay.
Oh, I thought you said Sam.
Slay only had 2 years with 3 picks.
Yeah.
Teams wouldn't throw his way because he was always stuck to his receiver.
I want to hear Asante's with Philly.
Yeah, let's hear it.
First year, 2008, he had 4.
Oh, my God.
2009, he had 9. 2010, he had 7. And then he had a down year in 2011 with only 3.
Wow.
Then he goes to Atlanta and has 5. Not to mention about the year in New England where he had 10.
Teams just liked testing him for whatever reason. It's
Again, why did people throw to this guy half the time?
No idea.
But no, like I said, Asante was a great corner in Eagles history. Like I said, bad era of football to be a part of. It was the Andy years on the back end, and the whole thing, everything was a mess.
Yeah.
But now, who's a better tackler? Don't ask me.
I plead the fifth.
I'm not pleading nothing. Never mind. But overall, Asante, great player, first ballot Hall of Fame. Darius Slay, Hall of Famer. I think Darius Slay easily is a Hall of Fame corner, and I think he is probably. I think he makes me one of the best. He makes one of the best Eagles acquisitions of all time. I mean, you get him for a 3rd and a 5th. Like, Detroit, what are you doing?
Yeah. Well, back then, Detroit didn't know what they were doing.
That is true. That is very, very true. But no, I think the vote deserved to go to Darius Slay. I don't want to ever put disrespect on Asante, but Darius Slay was just he stabilized the position. He held it down till the new era came over, and he won you a ring by playing his best football of his career in Philly.
Yeah, and that's the thing. 5 years.
5 years of uncertainty on the opposite side of him.
Exactly.
New guy every year. I mean, first year, Coleman. Oh, dear God.
They
then Steven Nelson.
Play outside with him.
I mean, then Bradbury was here for 2 years.
Yeah.
One great, one not so great. And then you had Q. And that 2024 year was so weird because none of those corners had picks in the regular season.
No, they didn't.
Quinyon had 2 in the postseason. He had 1 against Green Bay and then 1 against Washington. Slay had 1 against Green Bay. And then, of course, we all know what Cooper DeJean did in the Super Bowl.
But you know what he did have, though? He had 13 deflections.
Yep. Like I said, the fact that Darius Slay just does what he did for the years he was here. And someone did ask him because he did tell, he was in an interview and he said that if it's not Philly, I'm not doing nothing. Mm-hmm. He did say, what if Philly can't call? And he said, I'm not BG. He said, I'm retired and I'm staying retired.
He's not staying in shape. Which, granted, that's 2 completely different positions to be ready for. Like, you got to worry about keeping up with a, 22-year-old running like a 4.4 at age, what is he now? 36, probably going to be going on 36.
35, 36, yeah.
That's a lot bigger of an ask than BG. You still lifting the weights, training a little bit. Can you go out there and go maul some guys?
Hold on. BG gets to play 10 snaps a game and line up next to Jalen Carter for almost half of them.
Exactly.
It's a lot easier for Darius Slay to go out there and run with.
There's a difference.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of saw it in Pittsburgh. Whatever, like I said, whatever tread was left on them wheels, Christian Parker and Vic Fangio got the last bit of it. Because, I mean, heck, that interception that he had in the playoffs, he's running down the field with Romeo Doubs, stride for stride. This guy, 34 years old, doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah. Darius Slay had a hell of a career. Glad he was able to be an Eagle for some of it because who doesn't love Darius Slay? George, by the way, we're going to need an updated Birds intro now. Darius Slay is not around this intro. We need him in it now.
He can take the spot of...
No. I know where you're going. And no.
I knew I was going to get you there.
Speaking of which, I think it's time to segue into some Eagles offseason because we got a lot to go over.
A lot's happened since last Monday.
Yeah, so now if you guys remember, NFL free agency kicked off on the 9th. We weren't on last Friday to recap the beginning of it, so we got a lot to go over. So here, I have a tweet here from Dave Zangaro. Here's what the Eagles offseason has looked like. Now, we're not going to talk about all of this because some of it we expected. Here is where we are with the Eagles roster. Here is who has left so far in free agency. Edge rusher Jalen Phillips, wide receiver Jahan Dotson, linebacker Nakobe Dean, safety Reed Blankenship, offensive lineman Matt Pryor, thank God, Sam Howell, offensive lineman Brett Toth, outside linebacker Joshua Uche, outside linebacker Azeez Ojulari, tight end Kylan Granson, running back A.J. Dillon. Here are the deals the Eagles have renegotiated or restructured. Defensive back Michael Carter II, offensive lineman Landon Dickerson, and kicker Jake Elliott. Now, yes, people, you have to understand Jake Elliott's contract restructure is not what you think it is. Yes, they cut it from $6 to $5 million. Yes, but now the $5 million is fully guaranteed, which makes me sick that he's getting fully guaranteed money after the 2 years he's put together.
Yeah.
Georgie, you know I'm just kidding. I'm not that freaking nuts. Or rich. Anyway, back to this Eagles offseason recap. So far, the only player they have given a contract extension to has been defensive tackle Jordan Davis. They have re-signed tight end Grant Calcaterra, punter Braden Mann, tight end Dallas Goedert, and safety Marcus Epps. They've traded away safety Sidney Brown. Hi, Dennis.
Thank you.
They have acquired in a trade quarterback Andy Dalton. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. And they have signed in free agency cornerback Reek Woolen, tight end Johnny Munt, cornerback Jonathan Jones, outside linebacker Arnold Ebiketie, wide receiver Hollywood Brown, tight end Stone Smart, camp body, running back Damian Pierce, and safety J.T. Gray. Where would you like to start?
I mean, let's start with the greatest acquisition, Andy Dalton.
Okay. I mean, look, we can knock that out of the way. It's simple. It's real simple.
QB3.
That unless they think they have a really good trade package in the works for Tanner McKay.
Yeah.
Which, look, if I'm getting anything between a second and a fourth for a guy who I drafted in the 6th round who made like a handful of starts, I'm taking that deal. I'm sorry.
Yeah, me too. I'm doing it in a heartbeat.
Hey, look, you gave up a 2027 7th rounder. And also, Andy Dalton has some experience with new Eagles core. Now, I know he was here last year, but he wasn't the quarterback's coach. Parks Frazier was in Carolina with Andy for a little bit. So he's got some experience with the Eagles' new quarterback coach. And plus, dude, Andy Dalton's been around for a while.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice to have that veteran voice in the room.
It is, definitely.
So that, like I said, perfect situation. They hang on to Tanner McKee. He's your quarterback 3. You could do a lot worse at quarterback 3.
Yeah.
And if not, he is your backup if they trade Tanner McKee, which McKee's going to be a free agent next year. If a team comes knocking and says, look, we'll give you a 3rd round pick, I'm driving McKee to the airport. Now, we talked about this, I think, on the last episode. It'd be nice to have a quarterback with the same skill set as Jalen Hurts. That is the complete opposite of this.
Yeah. That was more your thing. You wanted that quarterback like Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, like that's the guy. Now it depends on what the Colts are asking for. Like if they say, "Oh, we want a 3rd rounder," you can kick bricks.
But no, hey, Andy Dalton is perfect because if he's coming in If there's a time that he has to come in, I'm already expecting to lose, so it's all right.
First off, and that's perfect. No, that's a great way to say it because let me explain something to the city of Philadelphia. Guys, you have to get off of the Nick Foles story. It was a great Cinderella. It's like Loyola Chicago. They made that Cinderella run in the NC tournament. You haven't heard from them since then, okay? The backup quarterback situation in Philly is no longer a Cinderella dream. It was a one-time thing. If Jalen Hurts isn't on the field, you're probably losing anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, don't care if it's Tanner McKee or Andy Dalton. You're probably losing the game. Because remember last year, everyone said, "Oh, Tanner McKee's good enough to beat the Commanders." Well, he wasn't.
Nope, didn't get it done.
There's the thoughts on Andy Dalton. All right, where do we want to go next? We don't gotta go through all this.
Let's see. Quickly, we could address the safeties. Addition by subtraction. That's the best way I can explain this. Thank goodness, Dennis, wherever you are. I'm glad Sidney Brown's gone. You bring back Epps. He's gonna be your backup for if anyone gets hurt. The gray guy that we got, I think he's going to be the special teams replacement for Sidney Brown.
You think? Did you hear his resume?
I did.
3-time All-Pro.
I heard that, but I'm also looking at his stats.
No,
I can't.
He's a 3-time All-Pro special temer.
Oh, special teamer. Oh, okay. Yeah, yes. That's why I was going for the special teams because I looked at his stats and I'm like, that doesn't look like a starting safety, but it looks like probably special teams to me.
No, he's been a 3-time All-Pro as a special teamer. So now we got him and Keely Ringo on special teams. Good luck.
So now, we got rid of the walking penalty flag known as Sidney Brown.
But speaking of special teams, we cannot stress how important it was to lock up Braden Mann long term.
Oh yeah,
he has turned into one of the best. I mean, Aaron Sipas, people. Do we remember the days of Aaron Sipas?
Man,
since coming to Philly, Braden Mann has been one of the most accurate punters. And when in a league that is so catered to the offense, you have to be able to flip that field position and do it consistently. And oh my God, has he been awesome. And the fact that they locked him up for 4 years.
Oh, I know. It's great. 4 years. I was like, wow. Something to not have to worry about for a little bit. And I mean, I like to make the joke all the time about hard to find a good pass rusher. It's something that's not talked about a lot. It's hard to find a good punter these days.
Have you seen how many punters have been moved and signed this offseason?
Yeah. Punter just there's no longevity in punters these days anymore. They just they come and go. So to actually get a guy who is good enough, who's worth signing to a multi-year deal, and he's proven himself. Good to see.
Yeah, so the fact that they have him locked up now just for so much for long term, it's such a big key to Michael Clay and the success of his unit. Because you need to have a consistent punter.
Oh yeah. Guess
where would you like
we could let's segue into Riq Woolen. That's probably the biggest name signed so far. Brought in to play outside corner 2 next to Quignon. I think this is the perfect fit with the Quignon, Mitchell, and Cooper DeJean.
Hunters are
yes, they are. Hunters are people. Yeah, I mean, Riq Woolen coming off the team that just won the championship, knows what it takes to get to that point. Yes, there's always been some concerns with him about maturity, this, that, and the other. I think he's kind of getting past that point now, and I do like getting him with Vic Fangio as well. And I like to see what he's able to do with him.
to mention. You're gonna pair him now with Mike Pellegrino, who's had a really big success rate at developing corners. I think that addition to the coaching staff coming in, kind of filling the void left by Christian Parker, is going to help. Also, we know how great Reek Woolen was his rookie year. He had the 6 interceptions. He was a Pro Bowler. Do we remember who his defensive coordinator was that year?
I don't.
Clint Hurt.
Oh.
Who, by the way, got a new tag of associate head coach to his job description this offseason. I am telling you now, when we come back doing Birds next year, when the season ends,
the DC.
if and when Vic Fangio retires, Clint Hurt is going to be the new defensive coordinator. I am preparing you people for this now because he runs almost the same scheme, as the similar scheme to Vic. People are like, oh, they're going to bring back Jim Schwartz. They are not changing the scheme.
You've already built your defense around this Fangio scheme, and it's been the most successful defense since like Jim Johnson.
They've wanted the Fangio scheme here since Jim Schwartz left. Exactly. Jonathan Gannon is the disciple of that scheme, like him or not. Sean Desai is the disciple of that scheme. That's why Matt Patricia's defense looked worse, because he had no idea how to run that scheme.
Mm-hmm.
And what did we always say? Instead of trying to find the disciples of the scheme, can we not find the architect? And then we did. But no, I am expecting Clint Hurt to be the defensive coordinator once Vic retires. And I think Bobby King is going to get a big promotion in the building as well because of how good he's done with the inside linebackers. And then, of course, Mike Pellegrino's coming in to coach the corners. I think that's a big addition. Like I said, he was a big key in coming in New England, developing Christian Gonzalez. He's a big-time defensive backs coach, and I love it. Yeah. Well, no, look, what you said about Reek Woolen is true. He's not a perfect player. We know this. But the perfect example of, if you watch his press conference, he knows it. He knows that he cannot have the immaturity issues on the field. I mean, let me tell you something. I'm not saying Mike McDonald doesn't coach his team hard. Do what you do in the NFC Championship game against the Rams, where you got to answer to Vic Fangio. Go tell me how that's going to work.
When you get that phone call down from the booth, you know it's over.
He don't call. Vic won't call Reek. He'll call Clint. Like, yo, Clint, go handle that. He gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt. When Big Clint gets involved, they're gonna hurt. But no. And look, he has to improve in some areas. He's gotten better as a tackler every year. Still needs to improve because of how much zone the Eagles run. We run a lot of zone in this scheme. Like that, and I know people say that, like, oh, well, Cooper DeJean can play safety and a base defense. We play base like 12 plays out of the freaking game. That's okay. They're still getting another safety. Knock it off. But I agree with you. It's a 1-year deal on a 26-year-old corner who is a playmaker. He's 6'4". He's tall. Yeah. He's lengthy. He ran a 4.2 when he was drafted, and he's a playmaker. The guy takes the football away. We needed to. We both agreed last offseason one of the biggest blunders that this team made, and I understood it because of the compensatory draft pick formula, that letting Isaiah Rodgers walk was one of the worst moves they could have done. It wouldn't have cost you much, and you got a 6th-round comp pick. Who cares? You need a corner opposite of Quinyon that could do the job. And we were so upset when they didn't bring Isaiah back. And look, again, no disrespect to Adoree Jackson, but the Eagles felt they could upgrade over Adoree this offseason, and in my opinion, they have.
They did. I can agree with that. There's a lot of upside. All eyes are going to be on Tariq Woolen because the ball's going to be going his way majority of the times that it's not.
I don't know how smart that is.
I don't know how smart it is either because he's got the track record. He can take the ball away. I mean, 6'4". It's hard to get the ball past him. So I think what this could actually do for him in his career is he could have a really amazing year next to Quinyon Mitchell and end up getting himself a nice deal. Unfortunately, not with the Eagles. because that's just what we do. We bring in
And
the
here's
the 1 year guys to patch things up, and then they get these big deals because they play so well. But that's just the business. You can't keep them all.
but again, will net the Eagles another compensatory draft.
Exactly. So the cycle continues.
This is like what I said. I said this to I think I was talking to Matt about this the night they signed Woolen. Howie Roseman last year went bargain shopping, and oh boy, did he! I mean, I think Adore made $1.2 million last year. But this year, he's still doing the same philosophy. They're still doing a lot of 1 year deals. But if you noticed, just look at some of them. Reek Woolen could make $15 million this year, even though the cap hits $3.4 million because this psychopath general manager put like 4 void years in his contract because he's a psychopath. But who puts void years on a 1 year deal?
That's insane.
He is absolutely psychotic.
But I gotta know. I need to read the same rule book that he's reading. I need to know where he finds out this information.
But he can make up the $15 million this year with incentives and playing time and stuff like that. Arnold Ebiketie, who we'll talk about in a few minutes, his deal is worth up to $7.5 million. Hollywood Brown, who I think that's where I want to move on to after Reek Woolen, is making up to $6.5. They're not bargain shopping, but they are taking 1 year flyers on really solid, proven veteran players who on a 1 year deal, if they're in the right situation, could land another big money, another decent contract next year, and more compensatory picks could be on the way. By the way, pass breakups by season by Reek Woolen. Rookie year, 16. Second year, 11. Third year, 14. Last year, 12. And that was in a year where he kind of lost his job to Josh Jobe. And it's no disrespect. Josh Jobe's played very well since he got to Seattle. But But like I said, Reek's not a perfect player, but you're putting him in. And look, I'm not taking nothing away by the coaching staff at Seattle. They're a great team. Their defense is ridiculous. But you're putting Reek in a situation with a really good defensive backs coaching staff. You're putting him in with his old defensive coordinator in Clint Hurt, who coached him his rookie year, who knows him. And you're putting him with Vic Fangio, who always has top elite talent at corner.
Mm-hmm.
You possibly could have the best trio of corners in the NFL next year.
I can easily see that. Because it's the dynamic of everyone he's playing around, which I think is really going to elevate his play.
Yeah.
I'm expecting a good year out of him. And I'm expecting to lose him after as well.
Me too. But I think he is the perfect fit next to Quignon and Coop. I think he's the playmaker. And again, another thing you look at him, he's long, he's 6'4", he's got long arms, and he runs a 4.2. As good as Adoree Jackson was last year, the one thing that concerned you with him was the vertical threat.
Yes.
I'm sorry, a big reason we lost to Dallas in Dallas, yes, it was because, the offense crapped the bed after the first 3 drives, but George Pickens ripped us apart down the field.
Yeah.
Oh, dear God.
I mean, Adoree he was always a step behind.
He's in his 30s.
Yeah. And he's not Darius Slay.
That's also, hold on. Darius Slay did allow 3rd and 30 to T.Y. Hilton.
There's a name, T.Y. Hilton. Oh, my gosh.
Did you see he just announced his retirement this week?
He wasn't already retired?
That's what I said. I'm like, was this brother not retired? Didn't he catch 3rd and 30 and then hit? Didn't he catch 3rd and 30? Hold on. Didn't he catch 3rd and 30 and then hit an Antonio Brown? Say, all right, deuces.
Yeah.
I swore that brother was retired already.
Wow. Jeez.
Right?
He had all of 3 catches, or no, 7 catches in 3 games. Yeah, dude, he hasn't played since 2022.
He's been retired. What's he talking about?
I feel like his career went so fast. I feel like I was just watching him as a rookie not too long ago. That was 2012.
2012?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Hey, man.
That's insane. Oh
Those
my, because
Colts.
yeah, the Andrew Luck years.
Man.
And then who was that tight end they had? I think there was the one that was with Luck at Stanford. I don't remember his name.
What year would it have been?
Around the early 2010s, like
2014?
yeah, maybe around there.
Here, I'll go give you a look. I'll go give you a look real quick. You got Dwayne Allen, Kobe Fleener. Those names, Jack Doyle.
Doyle. That kind, yeah, I think it was Jack
I,
Doyle.
I remember Jack Doyle. Jack Doyle was pretty solid too.
He was.
When did this become a Colts show?
No
When did we
idea.
start talking? When did we start talking about the Colts?
We gotta blame Ty.
But anyway, no. But why I brought up the Cowboys was because I just can think of the this between Reek Woolen and George Pickens. That's going to be great next year. I got to see that matchup. But no, again, I think it's a perfect fit. He's a playmaker. He's a fast, long, lengthy corner who is great in man coverage. It's zone coverage, tackling, stuff like that he has to improve on. And he has to keep his emotions in check. You don't want to get, because that's the other thing in zone coverage. He tends to get a little impatient, then he ends up jumping a route, then you get flagged for pass interference. But the bigger one is the emotions after the play. But again, in his press conference, he knows these things. He said all these things in his presser that he has to get better at. So I'm expecting him to hunker those things down, and I think this is going to be a really good signing for the Eagles
Now I'm
next
going to
year.
say this. We definitely need to trade AJ. Because if we got these two matching up against each other in training camp, oh, Lord help us.
That name is no longer allowed on my airways.
Oh.
I'm sick of him, and I'm sick of the Patriots.
One day they're interested, the next day they're not. The next day they're interested, the next day they're not.
Edelman's posting on Twitter, AJ's weight gain. Like, grow up, guys. Grow up.
Man. That's ridiculous. So let's talk about the AJ Brown replacement.
Knock it off.
Yeah, I can't say that with a straight face.
I like it if AJ. I love the move if AJ's here. And that's a very big if he's here.
That is a big if. Because then, I mean, that puts him at wide receiver 3.
Anthony, yes, I do. Anthony, I think the trade is already in principle agreed to. They just won't announce until after June. Yeah, I think it's already over.
Make the money work.
Well, no, that I'm saying, like, they've whoever it's going to be to, they've already agreed to it. Nothing will be announced until after June 1st. I don't understand why you can't just do it now and have it as a post June 1st trade.
Some league rules, there's something somewhere.
Oh, okay. Hold on. But we can but the Dolphins can release Bradley Chubb.
Yeah.
And label it as a post June 1st release, but he can go sign a new 3-year deal in Buffalo. You see my point here, right?
Oh, I totally see your point. And that's why the league rules don't make sense.
Can I give you a bold statement that I want to hold right now up until the draft?
What am I going to say?
They're not drafting Lane Johnson's replacement this year.
Oh, don't tell me
They're not going to.
Don't tell me that.
They're going to draft a wide receiver in the first round.
No. I'm sorry. I don't buy it.
Okay. Answer me this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Over the past 4 years, you have built a high-powered offense because you've had a cheap defense with young players waiting in the wings, right? Brandon Graham retired. You had Nolan Smith. You drafted Jalen Hunt. Fletcher Cox retires. You had Jalen Carter. You had Jordan Davis. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You had Darius Slay and James Bradbury. Now, James got hurt in training camp and he was done for the year. But you had Darius Slay. You still drafted Quinyon and Cooper DeJean. Right now, currently on this roster, if someone leaves on the offense right now, if Dallas Goedert left tomorrow, who's replacing him? If A.J. Brown got traded tomorrow, who's replacing him? You have no long-term, cheap offensive weapons in the wings waiting.
But does it have to be the first round, though? Or could it be addressed in the second round?
Either way. You also need a safety, too, which is also something you got to look for early.
Yeah.
Unless he's got to trade for a veteran that I'm missing, but...
Like, I can get your reasoning. The idea could be, okay, if that trade is agreed to in principle, we're going to get at least one first rounder back for AJ. You use that in the following year to then draft a day one starter.
Or, I got a better idea. Or, you draft Lane's replacement this year. You trade AJ for a 2027 first, which, by the way, guys, they're all you Nimrods out there. If Jalen Waddle is netting you a first-round pick, AJ Brown is definitely netting you a first-round pick. Now, all the stuff afterwards, that's fine. I don't care about that anymore, but he's definitely getting me a first-rounder. Who knows? Maybe the Patriots say, oh, hey, we'll throw Keyshawn Boutte in the deal, or Demario Douglas. Okay. I can roll with that for a year. And then I'll just take my first-round pick next year, the Patriots' first-round pick next year, and I'll take a 2028 second. I'll trade up. Is there a Buckeye that could be coming out next year?
I'm
here. Class, settle down.
But hold. So wait. Did you say trade up?
Package it all, baby.
I don't know.
Jeremiah Smith
I know he's a game changer. He's an insane generational talent. But you got to ask yourself this question.
No, I don't.
No. Are the Philadelphia Eagles able to win constructing the roster another way that isn't using 2 first-round picks to trade up to draft Jeremiah Smith?
Yes.
My answer to that is yes. They don't need to do it. I get that it could be a possibility, but they don't need to do it.
They don't have to.
And honestly, do you want to hear why I didn't like you saying that they were going to take a wide receiver in the first round this year?
Why?
I want Devontae Smith to be given the chance to be unleashed. Now, I'm not saying I don't want another good wide receiver next to him.
That's all you're getting.
I feel like him playing next to AJ, it's always been we have to cater to both. I feel like Devontae Smith has another level that he can get to, and he's been held back so far in his career.
Anthony, we understand that trading AJ at the draft would make sense, but the cap hit is still too much of a problem. That's why they have to do it after June. It's not going to happen between now and June. It's going to happen June 2nd or after because the cap hit is too much.
That became set in stone when they finally worked out that Dallas Goedert deal.
Which how they got him back for $3 million less they took last year, I'll never know. But Tyler, I understand you think, and I agree with you that Devontae Smith can hit another level. He's the only guy under contract after next year. Hollywood Brown's a free agent, and I don't think we're in agreement that Hollywood Brown is a wide receiver too. I don't think
that's why I don't like the idea of first round wide receiver. But if you were to tell me second round, okay.
If we're sitting here on 609's first round draft show and I hear the Eagles select Omar Cooper, I will not be mad.
I won't be mad either.
Because I find it very funny how he was the first guy they brought in for a visit. They haven't brought in a tackle prospect yet. Now, they're going to, yes, but so far they've brought in Omar Cooper Jr., denied Dennis Sutton, Vega Luane, the guard from Penn State, which, by the way, if he's around that trade-up area, run to the podium. That is a large freak of a man. It's the best interior offensive lineman in this year's draft.
Sounds Hawaiian. Sign me up.
Oh. But either way, and look, it could still be Lane's replacement. I think it's going to end up being Blake Miller because now Monroe Freeling looks like he's moving up.
Here's the good thing about this year's draft. There's a lot of first-round needs that the Eagles have.
Yeah.
So it's going to be hard for them to do the wrong thing. The right thing can look like a lot of different things. It could be drafting a guard. It could be drafting a tackle. It could be drafting a safety. It could be drafting a wide receiver. Who knows? Maybe it still could be a tight end.
You have nothing waiting in the wings on the offensive side of the ball because you are going to now. And look what happened this past week. The Eagles went from having $12 million in cap space to having $40 million in cap space, so like top 5.
Yeah.
Howie wrote, and everyone's like, "Oh, the big splash is coming." That's not a splash. He is preparing this team for the contracts that are coming. Yeah. They just paid Jordan Davis. They have to pay Jalen Carter. They have to pay Cooper DeJean. They have to pay Quinyon Mitchell. They are preparing for that. And
He's
this is why I'm
money
saying,
over.
Which they will. But whether or not they have to draft a right tackle or draft a guard or draft a wide receiver in the first round this year, they have no young, promising players on a rookie contract that can take over the reins on the offensive side of the football currently right now. All that cost efficiency on the defensive side for all these years is now going to have to be transferred over to the offensive side. Because I will tell you now, this is probably Dallas Goedert's last year in Philly. This is probably Lane Johnson's last year in Philly. It looks like Landon Dickerson retiring is a realistic thought since he avoided his entire 2028 salary off his contract, and now he's a free agent after 2027. So it doesn't seem like he's going to be here much longer.
Yep.
But if you trade AJ, I'm not going into a year with Hollywood Brown as my wide receiver too.
No, and I'm not saying that I want that to be the case.
I didn't say you did, but I'm just telling you, Howie Roseman is not going to draft something because he thinks he needs it. He's going to draft the best thing available.
Exactly.
That is why Marcus Epps got signed today, because he'll give you that pressure like, "Oh, we don't need to draft the safety in the first round." The Eagles select Emmanuel McNeil Warren, defensive back, Toledo. Oh, well, Howie said we didn't need to draft one. I lied. But that's the point. He doesn't draft on need. He will draft the best thing available. And if he thinks Omar Cooper, which by the way, I think is a perfect wide receiver opposite of Devontae Smith. If Brian pops in here, I am already talking about the Eagles as if A.J. Brown is not on my team. I will tell you, in my head, he's already a Patriot. I'm done with him.
In his head, he's not on the team either, so yeah.
I'm sick of him. I'm tired of hearing about the Patriots. Oh, how much I love the Patriots as a kid. Well, hey, AJ, I wanted to be a millionaire when I was 6 years old. Am I? No. We don't all get what we want. I have just never seen a guy 5,000 yards since joining the Eagles. A 3-time All-Pro, a Super Bowl champion. What the hell else do you want? And you get paid. You got 2 big paydays that's coming here.
He wants to be first wide receiver to win the MVP since I don't even know who.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Good luck with that.
But no, I am already preparing the rest of the offseason as if A.J. Brown isn't even here. So, but in my opinion, I would not rule out a wide receiver in the first round. They may draft Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end out of Oregon, still in the first round.
That's what I'm saying. There's so many places that they could go and need to go, and whatever they choose, it's going to be a good choice because you got to start somewhere. Obviously, we can't fill all the holes, but you got to start somewhere.
I would like to see Tank Bigsby get a mini extension.
I wouldn't mind that.
Because I know I do understand that they extended the land. I know Saquon got extended a couple years last offseason, which, by the way, I love Saquon. I thought that extension was unnecessary. I think it's a thank you, but I still don't. If the Eagles were to possibly think of, I really don't want to say it, but moving Saquon in a year or two, I think I'm okay with Tank as like a transition running back one. I can't believe I have to say that. But again, there's so much money wrapped up in this offense. You got to start somewhere.
What if, hear me out, what if with them bringing in Dameon Pierce, what if that wasn't a possible RB3 move? What if they try and make a trade in the draft?
Oh, dear God.
Maybe see what Seattle would want to offer for him.
For what?
For Tank. I think Tank could be a great fit in that offense. With Charbonnet. Tank is that explosive runner like Kenneth Walker was.
I don't hate the idea of it. I personally don't want to get rid of Tank because I actually like him. But
I'm just saying, hey, if I got to be in the mind of Howie, everyone's an asset. Everyone's got a price.
They also drafted Emmanuel. They also signed Emmanuel Wilson away from the Packers, who's been a really solid rotational back. So,
they're just going to rock with the committee and let Sam Darnold sling it next year, aren't they?
Sure, they're going to give a big part of the role to Charbonnet, but now Charbonnet has to get healthy first. But
yeah, that's the thing that they should be not majorly worried about, but it's got to be in the back of their mind.
Oh, I mean,
you're relying on your RB1 being someone who just got hurt in the playoffs.
I don't disagree. I'm just trying to think how some of these other teams think. But I, for one, where did this conversation get? Oh, did we even talk about Hollywood Brown?
How he's definitely not a number 2. He is what he is for a wide receiver 3. There's a guy I do want to talk about a little bit.
Okay.
Arnold
Adebike.
Yes. I'm sure you know a lot about him. Former Penn Stater.
Former Temple Owl, too.
Why do I feel like he could kind of be that guy? Like, almost like I don't know if I could say a Zach Bond.
He, as of right now, to me, now, look, I'll give you some insight. He had a 4-year run at Temple. Mm-hmm. So he's played the link before. Transferred to Penn State, had a big year, 9 sacks. To me, right now, he's had some production in the NFL. He had 6 sacks back-to-back years. This past year, he only had 2. But again, Atlanta drafted,
they drafted so many. They kind of pushed him away.
I like your thought process there with Adebike because of, the Zach Bond of edge rushers.
I still think they're going to who he's playing next to. Anybody you put next to them, their level of play gets elevated.
See, yeah, and Anthony, I hate saying it, but again, you're going to have to start shedding the money off of this offense eventually. Like, if you can't keep this offense is not designed to stay together 5 more years. It's just not.
No.
And that's why I hope our Eagle fans are listening. We are preparing you for the tough decisions. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because and another thing I want to point out with Anthony's comment, I'm not saying last year. I am not blaming last year on Saquon Barkley. That offensive line was putrid last year. I think Saquon still had plenty in the tank. When he got hit those holes, he was still looking like the Saquon I saw in 2024.
Yeah.
But I still don't understand why they gave him that 2 years. I don't know if that's like a thank you, but I still think I don't like paying a running back for 5 years, no matter who you are. But back to Edebike. Edebike to me is a very bigger upgrade from Uche and Ojulari.
Yes.
Even though Josh Uche, I thought he played well early on in the year in the sporadic snaps he got. Then he ultimately lost his job when Jalen Phillips showed up. Aziz was a humongous disappointment. I thought he would have been better, but he got hurt. Then he missed time. I think as of right now, Edebike would right now he's your third edge rusher, which I still don't think that's deep enough. I still think they need another one, whether they draft one. But I think that's where the big trade's coming. We've heard them linked to Jonathan Grenard, which if they get Grenard, that rotation there, I'm sold. Give me those four coming off the edge. Hunt, Grenard, Smith, and Edebike. Another name that has been brought up has been Trayvon Walker in Jacksonville. He former first overall pick, played next to Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter at Georgia.
Reuniting the Bulldogs.
Coming off a down year. I mean, he had back-to-back years of 10-plus sacks. This past year only had 3.5, but there are some reports that he is not a fit for the scheme they run. So I think if you get Walker here, I mean, he is coming up on his fifth-year option, so you maybe exercise it. You give him a little time. He's still only 24, 25 years old. He's still a kid. You bring him in here, see what he can do, or do you go for the more stable veteran in Grenard? But I think they're going to add a veteran edge because they saw what Jalen Phillips did to that defense last year, and I think they're going to value it. So I don't think they would go into, even if they draft one in the second, third round, I don't think they would go into the season with Nolan Smith, who is injury concerns, Jalix Hunt, Edebike as your only veteran, and a rookie. I don't think they would do that.
No. You definitely need more depth. But I'm looking at him as kind of like my dark horse. I think he can really produce, like, shockingly this year.
I don't hate that thought process. I really don't. Anthony, Saquon's last year of his deal now is 3 years from now because it would have been this year, but they extended him 2 more years, which I don't know how they structured it. Maybe there's a way to get out of it. I don't know. But like I said, this offense is not designed to be put together for another 3 years. It's not. It's too old. You need to get some young blood on it now.
Yeah.
But I do like... Now, your guy is Edebike. I think we both agree that Woolen's going to be good.
Yeah.
Johnny Munn, tight end from the Jags. I know this name don't come across for nobody. He don't catch passes. He don't do any of that. But I will tell you this. He was the number 9 run-blocking tight end in football last year. He was the number 14 pass-blocking tight end in football last year. In this new scheme, when you need a block-first tight end, this is exactly who you need in Johnny Munn. I think this is a very underrated move. Yes, I know they brought Calcaterra back. Calcaterra's only got like $700,000 guaranteed in his contract. So if they draft a tight end, easily can get cut during training camp.
Yeah, he's the backup option if we don't draft one. If there's not a point in the draft where they feel comfortable taking a tight end and they need to address other needs, that's why he's here. But yeah, he could be cut by camp if they take one in the draft. But you talking about Calcaterra. Yeah, no.
How was that?
The other guy,
Johnny Munn's not getting.
You need at least one guy in the locker in the tight end room that can block because it's so versatile.
And the guy that we looked to do it last year declined in that department.
Yeah.
And in this scheme that they're going to run under Sean Mannion needs a block first tight end. so much. Like he's going to be on the other end of he's going to be like an extra offensive lineman. So instead of running a jumbo package, which is the most obvious run play in America, now you don't know what if you have another tight end out there, you kind of throw teams off a bit.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Sean Mannion, I've heard 2 players talk about his scheme already and how excited they are.
Who are the players?
Jalen Hurts.
I'm sold already. You don't got to say anymore.
And Lane Johnson.
Because the last time I heard Hurts come out and say that he liked a scheme, we won the Super Bowl.
And you heard the other one, right?
Who was the other one?
Lane Johnson.
Lane Johnson.
They said it's so much of like the McVay style, and I'm like, oh, get me to freaking September, baby.
Oh man, that's what I'm saying, man. Unleash Smitty. I feel like we've been holding him back.
It's gonna happen.
I feel like he's the kid that's beating up everybody, and you got to hold him back to stop him.
One move I think is a very underrated one is them signing Jonathan Jones, the corner who was with Washington last year and the Patriots all those years. Now he's another guy. What they have really emphasized off this year are players that have experience with the coaching staff. Now they brought in a lot of new offensive coaches. Like I said, Andy Dalton was here with Parks Frazier when he was in Carolina, but Jonathan Jones is somebody who's worked a lot with Mike Pellegrino. He was with him in New England all those years. Jonathan Jones is going to be 33 years old. He may just be a camp body. But if Reek Woolen or Quinyon gets dinged up, I would much rather throw out a 33-year-old Jonathan Jones who's been in the league for 10 years than Keely freaking Ringo and Ja'Cory Bennett.
Yeah.
I could see Jonathan Jones being that first corner off the bench if he has to go out there. Something happens to someone.
I don't hate it.
So again, they've been playing a lot of the one-year deal game, but I think it's a lot better than what last year was. Last year was so many bargain bin shopping. Anthony, if I see Derrick Henry and Jeremiah Love on the same freaking field together, I may be shitting myself.
Oh, man. That's tough.
But I guess the last kind of question I have here, because, I mean, we've kind of gone through this. I mean, we went through Andy Dalton. We went through Johnny Munt, Reek Woolen, Edebike, Hollywood. The rest of these guys, to me, like Dameon Pierce, maybe the only other guy that interests me a little. I think now you're seeing a lot of the one-year deals that are going to be camp bodies.
Yeah. Pierce is going to be a roster addition because you need a third running back. I don't see him. He's going to play the A.J. Dillon role. He's going to be on the team. You're not even going to know it. Which I think kind of sucks because I thought Pierce had some decent time with the Texans. I believe that's where he came from, right? The Texans?
Yes.
Thought he had some decent time there. So
he had his rookie year was good. Everything since then has been a disaster.
Yeah, well, that goes for a lot of Houston Texans players, so that doesn't tell me much. They also decided after he had that great rookie year, we're going to bring in Joe Mixon.
And then we're going to bring in Nick Chubb.
And
now we're bringing in David Montgomery.
And and who's the other guy that's the running back right now? Something Woody Marks?
Woody Marks, yeah. And then
I can't buy any stock into a Texans running back declining in their production. Because they use them for a year and they're like, on to the next. Yeah, he's only 26. So they're who knows, Sam? Maybe they're stockpiling some of these younger rookies behind Saquon to try and get some knowledge and experience from them. Because maybe they do plan to depart soon. Maybe after this season. We don't know.
Well, first off, that's I could see them trying to build up that because I'll tell you right now, Will Shipley stinks.
Yeah, Shipley is
Not good at anything. He ain't a good running back, ain't a good pass catcher, ain't a good returner. We saw that.
Yeah, I think you kind of hit it on the nose there.
So here's the last thing I want to talk about real quick. This is a tweet from Zach Berman about an hour ago. Eagles' current secondary. Cornerback room, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Reek Woolen, Keely Ringo, Jacorian Bennett, Jonathan Jones, Mac McWilliams, Tariq Castro Fields, and Ambry Thomas. They're camp guys, but still. Safety, Drew Makuba, Michael Carter, Marcus Epps, JT Gray, Andre Sam, Brandon Johnson. They are definitely adding a safety.
Yeah.
And you know what I think? And, a lot of people are like, oh, why didn't they bring Reed Blankenship back at his price? Then Reed goes in an interview and said it's the first time he felt like he was wanted as a player and as a person. Okay, Reed, what's that supposed to mean?
Oh my gosh.
I said Jalen Phillips said the same thing. Like, okay, Jalen, yeah, sure. $30 million a year didn't make you go anywhere different.
Yeah. No, 100%, dude. The money spoke.
Anthony, it may not be the dumbest idea to do it.
Yeah.
You may have a great point. Anthony, you are spot on.
AJ's gone. Smitty's taken over the reins. Smitty might set the league on fire. And if he does, and he's the receiver to reset the market again, oh, I don't want to be there for that contract.
Anthony's got a good point there. But real quickly, what I was getting at with the safety room, they're overhauling it. Reed Blankenship is gone. Sidney Brown is gone.
Yeah.
I feel like they are looking for a safety after what they saw the Seahawks do, and I think they are valuing a safety along the lines of someone like a Nick Emanwari, someone who is so versatile. You can line him up in so many spots. You can't do that with Reed Blankenship.
Yeah, well, you can't put Reed in man coverage.
You damn sure you can't put Sidney Brown on the field.
Yeah, you just can't line him up anywhere.
But what I think you're seeing is like, all right, could Drew Makuba play the Julian Love role? That last line of defense back there, if there's a ball out there, I expect you to come down with it. Yes, I think Drew Makuba could do that easily. But I think the other safety is someone they are looking at to have a versatile play style. Maybe the kid from Toledo.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the kid from Oregon. I don't know, but
they need a hybrid.
Yes, they do. They need a hybrid type safety.
Go draft your star. It could be in the second round. Maybe the first, could be the second round. Go draft your star. I mean, we got so lucky with what we got from Reed Blankenship and the player he developed into being undrafted.
I agree 100%. And I mean, they really haven't had much they haven't had a versatile safety since Jenkins.
Yeah, he's the last one. Play anywhere.
I mean, the closest one would be CJ.
Yeah, but even then, he was no Jenkins.
Nobody was. But, they need that hybrid type safety, and I think that's where they're going. Could it be Emmanuel McNeil-Warren out of Toledo? Could it be the kid from Oregon? We'll have to wait and see. But this is going to be a very interesting next month. We've got draft coming up. We're going to have a lot of Eagles draft talk on this show for the next month, guys. So please stay tuned. We got a lot of stuff coming for you on Birds of the Gridiron. But Tyler, do we have anything else we want to bring up tonight?
That's about all I got, except for Go Birds.
Damn right, Go Birds. Well, guys, we are going to call it a night. Thank you, everyone who tuned in all week here on 609 Sports Talk Radio. Of course, you guys are always killing it with us on Unbiased, always having good talks about the entire NFL. We are going to be back to NFL free agency this week. We are going to give some free agent thoughts on who we think did a good job these past 2 weeks, who we think still needs a lot of work. We'll talk about the trade between the Dolphins and Broncos because, of course, they decided to do that on a Tuesday, like always. Mm-hmm. But thank you all for tuning in the entire week with us on Unbiased, hitting home, which you guys have made an awesome show. We just had Cubs play-by-play announcer Alex Cohen on with us this past Wednesday. If you did catch that show live, go back, rewatch it on Facebook, YouTube, and guys, hit that subscribe button on the YouTube, hit that like over on Facebook, and thank you guys once again who come here every week and choose us for your sports talk. We greatly appreciate it. So, guys, we are going to get out of here for the week. Again, thank you everybody who tuned in with us throughout the week. Have a great weekend, and we will see you guys on Monday for some NFL free agency talk. For Tyler Adams, I am Sam Nelson. Good night, everybody.
The following has been a presentation of 609 Sports Talk Radio.
Sam, what did you do?